Hello and welcome. This is Stan the Riverman, and yes, I'm back. I'm on the shores of Licking River in Covington, Kentucky. It's February 7th, 2025, and I'm going to bring an update on what's going on down Licking River Greenway and trails. As you can see, the water is up. We've had heavy snow melt, and followed by some rain, thunderstorms. So that brought the river up. The Ohio River is probably around 40 something feet up, so this is what happens when the river gets up. But what's new here is all the cut trees, as you can see. But what happened, if you followed my other videos, this section was what I call a landslide zone, the erosion area. This slope hill here at the base of this flood wall, that's a levee system flood wall that surrounds the city of Covington and protects the city from high waters. Well, a few years back, actually I noticed it back around 2012 and reported it, but so progress was slow. They finally authorized work to start, I don't know, soon. $4 million project's gonna be going in here. So the scope of the video, what I'm gonna try to show is the step-by-step on what they're going to do here for try to remedy the situation that they think the flood wall is compromised, that the footer may be cracked, so that would endanger the flood wall. But what really saddens me is that they're getting $4 million. Man, I was thinking you could buy a lot of trees for $4 million, some oaks and hickories, and give that a shot about 10 years ago. Maybe it would have stabilized this area, but that's not to be. I do want to point out two rescue trees that are no longer here that I rescued out of Banklick Creek. I rescued these trees out of Banklick Creek about 6, 7, 8 years ago. I forget. I measure everything now in time by when COVID was, and it was like 2 or 3 years before COVID. But I was on a big planning project over at Bank Lick with Kenton County Conservation people over there, and we put in like 38 50-gallon pot big trees, oak trees, different native species. And I was the guy who staked them down, so I knew they were staked in good with 2x2 stakes, 3 feet down. But I'll be damned if it didn't thunderstorm. This is in December. Thunderstorm that night, and the river, well, not river, the creek flash flooded and swept away all the trees. So when the creek went down, I went over there a day or two later, check out to see if anything was left, and I managed to salvage 2 trees, a swamp white oak and a tulip poplar, and I got those fished them out of the creek. And so I brought them up here. It was in December, and the temperature is going to be dropping, and if you can't have potted trees sitting outside in freezing temperatures, it'll freeze the roots. So it had to be in the ground. So I dug holes, put them in the ground. So I watched these guys for since the last 8 years, and I trimmed them and try to keep an eye on them. So I don't know if it is a rescue tree, and like I guess to do with a rescue dog or cat, I did become attached to these damn trees over the years, watching them grow, and they were just getting through the tree canopy, ready to take off, and boom, now they're gone. But anyway, I'll show you the stumps. Not much to see really, but just to show that I'm not telling a tall tale here, I'm gonna give you a visual of what the stumps look like now. It doesn't look like much, but yeah, that's a tulip poplar stump. And over here where the pole is, I marked this so I can locate it easily, is the stump of the swamp oak. Anyway, he's gone. So not much to say about it. So what I'll be doing is updating posts about what's progressing along this stretch. Probably, in my opinion, they'll probably bring in the bulldozers and excavators, and they'll level out this area, take out these. They left the stumps high, I assume, so that they can push them over with a bulldozer or track hoe. They'll bring the track hoes in, dig down about 40 feet or so, and then they're going to bring in some big drilling rigs. This is based on what they did in the section north right there. They'll bring in the big drilling rigs, drill some big holes in, and then fill them with pressurized concrete. And I imagine they're probably going to put a seawall down in that area along the base. All those trees will probably be coming out. So, you know, it really sucks that we lose so many trees, but, you know, I did the best I could. My problem was I was dealt a crappy hand because this area had been slipping for the last, that's why I put these trees here, because it was slipping. And I thought I could, you know, maybe help and get some trees, native trees established. A lot of these trees that are here existing are what we refer to as pioneer trees, box elder, locust, silver maples, invasives. There'll be a lot of invasives coming in here now. Invasives, trees that grow fast and die fast, and they have like a 35-year life expectancy. So even though these trees like that up there on the hill, you know, it looks like a great tree, but it's a locust tree, so it probably isn't going to be here that long. But I mean, you know, well, there is one they left for me. I don't know what that's all about, but you can see the wire on there. That wire, I don't know if you can see it or not, that wire is to protect the tree. Well, they pushed it up. I don't know why, but it's up. But though I put wire around some of the oak trees back here, because when the water's high, the beavers zero right in on them and destroy them. So this is beaver proof in the trees. Well, I don't know what else to say. Like I said, I'll be doing regular updates and show you what happens when you lose the battle of erosion, and what happens when the heavy equipment, Army Corps engineers. This is an Army Corps engineers project, $4 million. You know, I'm not even sure that it really needs it now, because the main culprit, in my opinion, was a broken sewer line right over there. See that big square building there is a pump station, and down about 50 yards down is where it discharged into the river, and they had a broken pipe down here and it was discharging in the ground. Well, you see what happens on the street when you have a water main break? Same thing happens here. But they fixed that about 4 months ago, and the way the gears move with the Army Corps engineers, they haven't checked any. They got these boxes down here, those yellow boxes there. They measure the seismology, get a reading on how much slippage there is, but they're convinced that they need to do it, so it's going to happen, because there's too much federal money tied up in Covington. They can't afford to lose it. And when the Army Corps speaks, they listen. All right, signing off down here at the high water on the Licky River. Stan the Riverman. Back at you. Stay well. Take care. See y'all.